On today's exciting adventure of how to preserve your virginity and maintain its fortitude, I'm going to show you guys a little bit of a sandwich trick. A sandwich trick. People tend to like sandwich tricks, and today I'm going to show you guys a sandwich trick. For those of you guys that are unfamiliar with sandwich tricks and magic, it's any trick that involves two cards sandwiched together, much like your typical standard Subway sandwich, which may or may not include the same parts as yoga mats, I've been told. Unfortunately, usually I would go for the Bin Wang playing cards. I would use the Bin Wang playing cards, but alas, for a reason that I will disclose later in the video, we're going to be using these Triumph playing cards that were graciously sent to me by Len Tucker. Len Tucker, thank you for dropping these off. If you guys ever want me to use anything, including slices of ham and or Kraft cheese, you could look at my P.O. box below and send me some stuff, because that's always welcome. That's always a welcomed addition to this channel. So for this, we're going to be using these cards in particular. They are, of course, mixed and shuffled, but as you can see, that does nothing, right? Because I'm a magician. So here we're actually going to use these two jokers, and we're going to place them aside and have two cards picked. So this is one of those tricks that has two cards picked. So it's a buy card trick. It's ambiguous. It's like Jamie Lee Curtis. So we're going to be taking this card and losing it somewhere in the middle of the deck, never to be seen ever again. And of course, we're going to be doing the same with the 10 of spades if we could ever pick it up. But that's fine. That card also gets lost in the middle of the deck. Once again, never to be seen again, because the jokers, believe it or not, are going to do most of the work. The jokers are going to be the ones to actually do the bulk of the lifting here. And as you can see, there's a nice little bit of a surfboard. You see that? A little bit of a surfboard meme on these particular jokers. But if we just place them together and just rub like this, we're rubbing in our minds. That's what it looks like in person. All we could do is just wait for the jokers to find the cards. We cut them in the middle. We give a little bit of warmth here. Rub our hands together, much like it was a campfire with that uncle that seems to touch you inappropriately. And of course, now that's all we should wait. And now there's a card between the jokers, a single card right there between the jokers. And of course, it happens to be the Ace of Hearts. The Ace of Hearts. Good job, jokers. You found the first card. Now, of course, we're still left with one card, so we need to find the other spectator's card, which of course is going to be very simply done with one of these virginity cuts. You could do this one. You could do this one. You could do this one. That doesn't really do much, but ultimately it does let us, well, it leads us to one card in particular, which is magically turned face down in the middle of the deck. I say magically, but you clearly saw me do it. And that, of course, is your card, sir, the Ace of Hearts. That's weird. Wait, we found the Ace of Hearts. You don't think, oh, man. Oh, man. And, of course, the spectator is astonished to find that there's a little bit of a swap meet going on here. And that's the fun card trick. Sometimes I wonder what it would be like if I just did the trick and I wouldn't explain it. And I get a bunch of angry comments of people saying, hey, maybe you should teach it. So here, very simply done. It's a nice little bit of a switch, as you could see in the middle of the trick. It's a variation on Club Sandwich. Club Sandwich is a marketed trick, but many magicians have come up with different variations, including me. I've dropped some variations on the channel. I've dropped some variations on the Pigcake Magic Academy. That's right, Pigcake Magic Academy. You can find the link in the description below. $5 a month. You get 2 new videos a week, access to over 200 videos already there, going over card stuff and coin stuff from a beginner's perspective, all the way from the start. You can learn how to hold a deck, and you can learn how to do more advanced sleights. Also, you can learn how to take away pubic hairs from playing cards. But ultimately, nice little bit of an academy there. Go ahead, check it out, support this guy, and then also support yourself by fortifying and solidifying your virginity. So that's the Academy show. And you're going to be doing some little bit of a switch. You're going to be doing a little bit of a switch. It's not hard to do. And there's a couple different ways to get into this, which we will discuss here right now. So first things first, you're going to have 2 cards picked. Those two cards are going to get controlled. Now, if you choose to keep the jokers on top of the deck, then you could do a little bit of a tilt. You could do a little bit of a Marlowe tilt, where you notice you're going to be inserting that card not actually in the middle of the deck, but second from the top. You're going to be inserting it second from the top. But for the sake of explanation here, and just for the fact that I assume that most of you guys aren't at that particular virginity level, you were just going to control the cards to the top in whatever way you want. So in this particular case, we're going to get the King of Clubs, and we're going to control it by putting our pinky in there. This is what's known as the pinky break. If you don't know this, well, honestly, I question your motives for checking out this channel. You should be going out and doing stuff. That's level, I think, 15 virginity. So at this point, all you're going to do is lift up over here, turn everything this way, and start shuffling the cards. If you've noticed, you clever cat, what that did is that brought this card to the top of the deck, ready to be found by whatever magic way you want. So this is the Mahatma control. Very, very simple and easy control. Now the next one here, we're going to do the same thing. We're going to do see, there's a little bit of a Charlier cut, right? Doing a Charlier cut, and we're placing the queen there down jogged. We're placing the queen down jogged. So when we decide to press with our dirty, disgusting, depraved magician thumbs, we actually push down and we could get a break, much like before. Now this time, we're going to do the double undercut, where we transfer this pinky break to the thumb break. You see that? Look at that transfer. Look at that transfer action right there. Let's get a little bit of a meme there on a transfer action. Oh, man. Oh, man. Oh, man. Oh, man. Really makes me want to start dancing with the blacks, right? Hit the like button if you guys like dancing. So here we're going to go and remove the cards, less than half of the cards here, and bring that to the top. And then we're going to grab all the cards and then bring that to the top. So that's effectively controlled your cards to the top of the deck in a very efficient and smooth fashion. So all in all, at speed, it just looks like this. You see that? Super simple. Very easy to do. Now, of course, we're going to have to load that card between the two sandwiched jokers here. So this is the sandwich portion of this particular trick. We're going to place these on top of the deck, but not before securing a break underneath the top card of the deck. So you're going to need to do a little bit of a break here and get that right there underneath the top card of the deck. So when you show the jokers and you make some sort of point about how they have a LGBTQ pro color scheme, you're going to put these two jokers on top. You're going to lift all the cards, which are 3, if those of you guys that are mathematically what's the technical term, retarded, don't figure that out by now. You're going to lift these 3 cards up. You're going to take your thumb and you're going to slide one off here. You see that? You're sliding that off on top of the deck. Then you're left holding 2 cards here. You could then very easily place that on top of the deck, and now you're ready to go with 1 card between the jokers. So here, all I'm doing is just showing the jokers. That's all I'm doing. It's not a little bit of a move. I see some magicians do this, and they look like they're having an asthma attack because they go, oh, so we have the jokers, and they do a little bit of a card production because of the tism. You just want to display the jokers here. So look at this joker with the color scheme of an LGBTQ pro Pride Parade, and this one is more of I would say progressive BLM movement sort of action here, and in that you've loaded the joker. So after treating to your McDonald's cancer, you have a card that's now sandwiched between both jokers. So now what you're going to do is you're going to cut this card in the middle of the deck and then do the magic. So whatever magic motion you want to do here, if you want to just wave your hands over like it's some sort of campfire and you're with that uncle that for some reason told you, hey, you could come camping with me and the family. And it really ends up just being him. And it's weird because he looks at you while you sleep. Whatever memory you want to bring up to make the magic happen. But here, we're going to spread through the cards until we see that there's now a card sandwiched between the jokers. But we're not going to stop spreading there. We're going to spread until we get to this card, which is going to be the second spectator's card. So here, we're going to do a little bit of a discrepant display. A discrepant display here to pretend to show this card, but really we're just showing this one over here. So all we're going to do here is we're going to take these jokers. Remember, we have a break right there below this card, which is the 4th card technically from this first joker, and we're going to square these cards up and lift up immediately, showing the Spectator's card, in this case being the King of Clubs. So that's going to be the second Spectator's card. Now, there is a little bit of discrepancy because this should be the Joker, but you know what, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because you could just keep that to yourself as you show the fact that you have a little bit of a king here. Now, it does help if you have that particular face down card there, because then it really seems like one of the Jokers is over there and there should be a Joker here. But again, the discrepancy doesn't matter because the Spectator should be startled that this is their card to begin with. Oh boy, the power of magic. Now again, if you're a little bit of a bitch, you could just keep this towards yourself as you display the king. So now at this point, you're going to just close up the packet here as we spread through the cards. And we're going to spread back to those Jokers and the card sandwich between it. So the display here and the assumption is that we've shown them this card, but really we haven't. So at speed, it just looks like that. So the first card here, sir, the King of Clubs. But of course, the Jokers could only do so much, right? And that's the way you would sort of present the move. So you're going to put the Jokers aside and say, see, the Jokers get tired, so now I'm going to have to do the work. Now, at this point, you could either get a break right there, or you could just simply cut this packet to the top, which brings the card that they think is between the Jokers right here to the top of the deck, ready for you to do whatever sort of, whatever fancy finger flicking Wakanda you want here. But ultimately, if you want, you could do whatever production you want that keeps the card face down. I just like to do a slip cut where I use my thumb to slide this card in the middle of the deck, but I do it out jogged. And if you want, you could do a little bit of this cardistry con meme to really show the ladies that you really never seen, nor you know what to do with them in bed. You could do that thing and say, look, I found this card with my own strength and will. And you turn it over and it happens to be the exact same card you just apparently displayed between the Jokers. So now you could just go, oh, wait, you turn it over. I don't want to touch anything. And of course, the Spectator is going to turn this over and be astonished to find that it's the second person's card that the Joker's already found. The Joker's already found before you could. So that's a nice little bit of a variant on the classic Club Sandwich card trick. Club Sandwich is a marketed effect, but it's a gimmicked effect that requires a little bit of a gaff. I got a little bit of McDonald's coffee residue on these cards, so I need to set them to dry real quick because Lord knows I don't want the cards to start deteriorating, right? Like my insides. So yeah, there's a nice little bit of a take on that Club Sandwich trick. I have a variant on the channel that I've put, you know, a lot of people like that one in particular, but this one, it's just a little bit of a nice display there that you do in the middle, and it's definitely hot and ready and fresh for the ladies. So that's the trick, man. That's the trick. You guys like the aesthetic? I did the whole thing in this old school piggy aesthetic because honestly, I think I'm dying in the inside. But thank you guys. Do all the things that people do. I'm gonna go figure out different ways to watch the watchmaker make watches.